I'm going to talk about the green. So better to stand here. Okay. So the product name Grin comes from green ghost, the wizard bank in the Harry Potter story. So for the Mimblewimble, it came from Tom. This person disappeared since the paper dropped on 2016. So Mimblewimble is a tongue-tying curse in Harry Potter. It's quite fit for a privacy crypto. So who is the first one to start the Grin project? This person, Ignotus. Ignotus is the youngest of the three brothers. And he has a cloak of invisibility and survived from the death. Also, we can think he is the wisest one. So for the invisibility, it's a quite good image for Grin. That's why he take this name, I guess. So who we are? Actually, for Grin, Grin comes from open source developers. We are just part of them. Grin don't belong to anybody, any company, or any country. So it's quite open. Why we develop Grin project? So if we think about Bitcoin, the scalability and the privacy are two main concerns when using Bitcoin. In history, the scalability and the privacy are opposite sides. You would have to sacrifice one to get another one. In Mimblewimble, it's the first time to get a protocol to get the both. Compared to all the cryptos before Grin, we have a lot of difference and advantage, especially in the scalability, privacy, and simplicity. Let's compare, give a simple compare between Grin and Bitcoin. We respect Bitcoin for all great developers and all the great researchers. A lot of ideas in Grin came from Bitcoin, such as BIP 32, 39, compact block, Shino-based multi-sig, and so on. Bitcoin is a great store of value. However, it doesn't mean there's no area to improve Bitcoin. If you think about the privacy, also the long-term scalability. As you know, in Bitcoin, the data only can be added. So it's a typical growth problem. Also for long term, the zero emission is a problem for Bitcoin, but not now. We can think of Grin as Bitcoin's younger brother, but more limber. For long term, Grin has a great potential to be a better medium of change compared to Bitcoin. Also, we still as a good store value. We can discuss more in later pages. How we make Grin? As we know, Grin has an anonymous founder. Nobody knows who is Ignotus. So I can say I'm Ignotus. Also, you can say Ignotus is here. Yeah? You can start now to show this. So anybody can say I am Ignotus. We don't have ICO, we don't have CEO, we don't have pre-mine, mining tax, and don't have any investment. All the developers, including the founder, we cannot get quick reach. As all of us here, I don't have any green coins in the beginning. To get the coins, the only way is either to mining green or to buy it from the exchange. And the green is 100% community driven. Welcome anybody to join this open community. We launch the green as fair as possible. I can give some highlights, keywords here for green. Privacy, scalability, lightweight, efficient, very fair, quite open. And last one, constant emission. Here I have a page to show some numbers about green. We have 2.5 years for R&D, research and development. We have 5 testnets before the mainnet launching. Totally, we have over 100 developers. And we are the top 3, the hottest Rust open source project in GitHub. We have over 700 developers in the dev channel, and near 10,000 people in all kinds of community. For the development and the governance, every 2 weeks we have a meeting open in the GitHub open channel. So anybody can join this channel to discuss with us about the development, about the governance. So here is a question: why we launched Grin in 2019? Because some friends ask me, you have the white paper in 2016. Why 2.5 years later you launched the Grin? So actually, Grin is not just the Mimblewimble. We integrate some latest research outcome. For example, bulletproof, Shino-based multi-signature, Dandelion++. Of course, for Grin's open model, we lack resources. We need help. Here I have 2 pages to talk about some basic mathematics in Grin about the simplicity. So if we don't talk about the complex crypto mathematics, only see the basic rules. Here we have a first cornerstone. Grin is the UTXO-based blockchain, just like Bitcoin. So here so for the first cornerstone, if we see this equation, A plus B equal C plus D, then we can transform this equation to another one. The A, we can calculate A as RG plus AH. Here, the A is the transparent amount, and R is the private key. For G and H, they are 2 generators in ECC in Eclipse curve cryptography. So use this form, we can make sure the published data ABCD on the chain is protected by the cryptography. Nobody can deduce ABCD, can deduce the transparent amount from the encrypted one. This form, we call it Peterson commitment. So in this form, we ensure the amount is invisible, and for the address, RG is the address. We always changing the address for each transaction. So no traceable address on the blockchain, on the chain data. Second cornerstone, if we do another transaction to spend one output, this one, and we aggregate two transactions, then we got this one. We can cancel the same C before and after. After we remove the common C, we get a new transaction. This transaction is still can be validated. This is a great cut-through feature, or we call it transaction aggregation. This one is different from the old coin join technology. The term take the idea from the coin join, but get a quite simple one. So this is the secret. We can get a lightweight blockchain. With this one, we can remove the data from the blockchain. Then we don't have the growth problem in Bitcoin. So how it looks like for this lightweight? I have some calculations here. If we focus on the address, if in some day Grin grow in the same level as Bitcoin, you can see in Bitcoin we need almost 200 gigabytes to store the blockchain data, but in Grin we only need 4 gigabytes. That's 2%. So we can say it's super light. For the efficiency, here we have some basic data for Grin, 1 block 1 minute, and 10 minutes for confirmation if we need 10 confirmation. And the transaction throughput, we can support up to 14 transactions per second. Also for the compact block batch validation, also help for the scalability. For the syncing, if you have the experience to use Bitcoin, each time if you want to sync a 4th chain, perhaps you need a whole day. If your network is not quite good, perhaps 1 week to sync the data. But in Grin, we have the fast sync feature. Almost in 10 minutes, that sync will be done. And this speed will not be impacted when the blockchain grows. So about the address, almost all people, when they first time to use Grin or read the Grin spec, it's very surprised that Grin don't have any address. So here I want to explain why we don't have address. If we think about this form Peterson commitment, to create an output, we must have the amount, must know this amount. If the sender don't tell us what is it, we have no way to create this output. Also, the the input-output structure need a 2 of 2 signature. So we need the sender to sign their transaction. Then we can aggregate to ask the final one to publish to the blockchain. That's why the interactive is the basic for the Mimblewimble or Grin. So why no address? In Mimblewimble, unfortunately, we don't have the script. So the famous pay to PKH or something doesn't work in Grin. However, it doesn't mean in Grin we cannot have address. I have a proposal in 2018, but we need more research about this. So it's still possible to have address in Grin. Also, we have some off-chain solutions to avoid the interactive transaction. There is a open source community project, Wallet 713. This one can make it easy to store, send, and swap Grin with the old-fashioned, with the address. We have 2 Grin core devs involved in this open project. Okay, about the fairness. We already know the first one. So Grin is setting a new model on this fairness for the public chain projects. About the emission, we know in Grin we have 1 Grin coins per second forever. And Grin is the first crypto to have this constant emission solution. So why? Firstly, we can say the simplicity is the big part for Grin. We think this one is the simplest solution for us. And also, we don't see any study, any science to define which emission schedule is the best one, is the optimal one. And even we see some studies that 0 emission after a while is a dangerous thing for blockchain. And the short emission is not unfair. I have a picture here to compare Grin, Bitcoin, US dollar, and the gold. If we see here, in 10 years later, Grin inflation rate is lower than US dollar. And in the first 10 years, Grin only issued 50% more coins than Bitcoin. So in crypto world, in one day, the price fluctuation could be 10%. So in 10 years, this 50% is not a matter. So about the proof of work and the ASIC, John Trump is the cuckoo proof of work inventor. For long term, we encourage the ASIC development. To encourage ASIC development, we provide 2 proof of work algorithms. One is ASIC resistant, another one is ASIC friendly. So we use 2 years to transform this procedure. In the beginning, we use 90% for AR and 10% for AT. And 2 years later, all these proof of work blocks will be the AT. So today we see about 1 million GPU is mining Grin. Perhaps in 2 years later, you only can see the ASIC miner in market. The good news is we already see 2 announcements for Grin ASIC. First one is Obelisk, second one is Inner Silicon. And I'm sure there are more ASIC coming for Grin. Till now, for Grin Core, this is the status for the delivery. For the atomic swap, is referred to the core support, not the application. Also, we have some very nice open source project in Grin community. First one I want to say is the Grin C++ project. And we have the open source pool software for Grin. And we already talked about what is 7.13. And we have a mobile wallet application. There is Iron Belly. You can find more in this link. For future development, of course, we need to spend some time for bug fix and issue solving. Also, we have security enhancement task and to support the community. Here we can see some very interesting feature for Grin next release. First one is multiple receiver, and for the invoice feature, API v2 is to support the third-party community project to improve the API. And we have up to PT. If you know the Flag client, it's a quite exciting feature from Benedict. In SPV, you have to download all the block headers, but with Flag client, you could only need to download a few kilobytes. And in next step, we have Dandelion enhancement, GUI wallet, and a relative log for the smart contract feature. Also, we need develop some application for this atomic swap. And Andrew has a script paper to discuss this, and based on his research, we could support the smart contract feature. Also, next one, confidential access RSA accumulator. This is a quite new one, RSA accumulator. Also, we want to enable the second tier real application, so we will develop the Lightning or research the Lightning. So to achieve all these development and exciting features, we need more developers to join us, or we need more support to sponsor more full-time developers to make all these good things happen earlier. So please join Grin and support Grin. So when you investing on Grin, don't forget to download the Grin development, because the feature development, the community growth, and the ecosystem is quite important to grow the strength of crypto coins. So we have a lot of channel to can be followed to know the news of Grin. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gary.